ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930 present The Drive.
We're here today at Jack Cook Field for today's edition of The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930 as Bellarmine is here warming up. The game's been pushed back to 7 o'clock, so if you're on your way to the ballpark, plenty of time to get here. Welcome into The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. I'm your host, Paul Swann, already joined by a dignitary today. Swann and Crisp is with us, the Associate Athletic Director for everything. That's a long title, man. I've not yet come up with a way to shorten that. Just Swann and Crisp, he gets things done. That's his official title today. How you doing, brother?
I am great. I'm excited for some baseball. Hopefully this looks like the rain's going to move out, or at least the heavy stuff, and we'll be able to play some baseball tonight under the lights.
First time under the lights, so a lot of things will be in place tonight. What's a nighttime baseball game in your mind look like compared to a daytime game? You know, what's different? Presentation, I'm sure, is going to be the same, but what can we expect tonight? Obviously, the lights are the big thing. Yeah,
I think the lights and the light shows that are associated with certain aspects of our game are the big thing, the big differences that we're going to have. I think the video board's going to look a little better, obviously, with it being at night. So, this is the first time for everyone. So we'll see what it's like and what adjustments we need to make.
And that's one thing that we're going to talk about today. This is game number 4 officially for the stadium. We have talked about this in the past. This is something that we're going to have to live with for a long time before we figure it all out. But I think the first 3 games, it feels like this is a Division I baseball program that's been doing it for years. So I didn't really notice anything, and I'm sure you've gotten a lot of feedback as well. What have you heard that maybe, first of all, has excited fans the most, other than the fact that this is a real baseball park and we're here watching a game?
Yeah, I think the biggest positive feedback we got was just the beauty of the ballpark. So nothing was skipped out on. The entire press box concession area being brick, looking super clean, a lot of concrete, and we didn't skimp on any aspects of it. So there's still more to come. There's still stuff that they're installing every day. But the entire beauty of the ballpark, I think, is something that people were thoroughly impressed with.
We won't get into the behind-the-scenes stuff as far as things that are being installed that maybe doesn't impact visually the fan experience, but what's still to come that might be coming this season that's going to maybe enhance the fan experience?
I think there's 2 things that I'm excited about. One is the speaker system. They're still adding more speakers. If you were in the outfield for a game over the weekend, it might have been a little difficult to hear the PA, and unfortunately we had to maybe pump it louder than we wanted to for people that were in the seating bowl. So there's more speakers coming to help improve that. And then also another thing that I'm really excited about is a system called TrackMan. It'll greatly benefit our baseball program in terms of getting that next level data for their pitchers and their hitters. But from an in-game experience, I'm sure a lot of you saw the miles per hour on the scoreboard wasn't active yet. So that's something that's coming soon, and it'll be active, so you'll be able to see the miles per hour per pitch. And then hopefully, once we get it down, we'll be able to utilize even the launch angle and exit velocity on batted balls and home runs, distances on home runs, and all that next level data that you see kind of from major league teams we'll be able to utilize, maybe not for our in-game experience, but definitely from a social media standpoint.
Fantastic. And, of course, as it progresses, maybe in the future that could be something that could be included with the app or herdzone.com as far as being able to follow the game live and have that real-time data. That's stuff that baseball fans love more than anything, all of the statistics of baseball.
For sure. I know there's a way to connect all the dots and make it appear on the live stats and all that kind of stuff. It's just one of those things that we'll take it baby steps and make sure we got it down for what we need and then improve it from there.
What have we learned 3 games in? What have you learned about Jack Cook Field? Positive, and if something is negative that you need to address, what have we learned?
Yeah, I think, overall for the first weekend, we got a lot of compliments for our in-game experience, for the promotions that we ran, for what we did. I'll tell you the biggest compliments probably came from the 2 teams. So our coaching staff was extremely impressed, and they've been to a lot of baseball games, and they've seen it all over the country. They were thoroughly impressed, and Manhattan gave us a lot of props on what we did and how we did things and the structure of things and the communication. They had nothing but great things to say. So We were very happy with the first weekend. The biggest change that we're making, and it'll be actually live tonight for another test run, is the scoreboard, the game in progress, where it's actually you see the score and you see the balls and the strikes and the outs. That's something that when it was up there and we got access to it 48 hours before the first game, we knew that's not going to work. But it wasn't something that could get changed in a short period of time. So we dealt with it for game one, and I appreciate fans' patience with that. We do have a new one for today that we're going to try out and see how it looks, and we'll probably keep it that same one for this weekend as well, because it'll be different during the day and night. It looks different and how you can see things. So we'll try it out. It's definitely bigger than it was before, and we'll see if this one works. If not, we'll make more adjustments and continue to improve it as we move along. I
don't know how much a new scoreboard costs, but I'm sure that we could save up and get maybe a really big one. That could just solve everybody's problem, Ryan. Just a huge, big scoreboard, like the football one, that size. Can we shoot for that?
I don't know if that is in the budget. I know that obviously we got this new one. Softball has a brand new one. Soccer's coming. Football got one. So thanks to a gift from OVP Health, we invested heavily in those. And I don't know if upgrading the size of the baseball video board is going to happen, but I have asked about possibly adding more score locations on the concourse or somewhere else where maybe we can move the actual game in progress, the GIP, off of the video board and keep it full screen at all times.
Okay, so you're taking a lot of feedback, and I'm sure that was probably the biggest one outside of all the positive game day experience.
For sure. No, that was the biggest one we heard. Other than that, all the other stuff is just kind of minor things that you just come and you figure out as you go from a security standpoint, from an entry standpoint. But other than that, I thought the connectivity in the stadium was great. So if you're using your cell phone, the Wi-Fi seemed to work well. Entry points, there was never a point where it was really bogged up. Obviously, the first game on Friday, right before gates opened, there was a long line, but that line got moving quickly and we got people in. And so overall, I think everything went really well.
Swann and Crisp is with us. Marshall and its new ballpark. This is game number 4 in Jack Cook Field. So we'll see how the Herd plays tonight in a nighttime atmosphere. Unheard of a few years ago, Marshall playing a home nighttime game. And so now here we are, everybody's dreams been realized. Feedback as far as sight lines, you have so many different options here. You have the outfield, you have, of course, the chairback seating, you have the grassy knolls here. What did you learn as far as people just sitting in their seats watching the game and experiencing the game?
Yeah, I didn't hear any feedback, any negative feedback when it comes to people sitting in the actual seating bowl. Obviously, there was great crowds for all 3 games, and I expect to continue that throughout the season. Personally, I walked around the ballpark a little bit on Sunday, and, I love the right field location. With the concrete pad back there, you can bring a chair, you can stand right on the outfield fence, and I think it's a great place to watch the ball game. We're going to make some improvements out there, and hopefully at some point maybe get some concessions out there as well. Not a building, but just a stand, something to purchase some snacks and maybe some beverages from. So looking to improve that area, but overall from a sightline standpoint, I think it's a great place to watch a game.
And there are so many different improvements that are still to come. We've talked about this, and this is not a finished product. It's great already, but it's not a finished product. There's still going to be more that's happening as far as amenities and just using the space that you have here. Right now, I see emptiness in the outfield and potential. And I'm sure that's what you see as well when you have these meetings about what are we doing, what is Marshall baseball in 2024, 2025, and how can we progress after the fact that here it is. The ballpark's here. Now what's next?
For sure. No, there's definitely things we can do. It was built for a reason to be able to do those kind of things. Once all the grass comes in, I think there's a lot of great options for bring a blanket, sit on the hillside, watch the game. We were very fortunate, and we have really, really good fans, and we sold out of tickets within the seating bowl on a season basis. Those season ticket holders have the option to list those tickets through SeatGeek, our official reselling partner, and so there are tickets available for resale on that website if you're looking for a reserved seat. All we have on sale through us is just the standing room tickets, but I think it's important to remember that you can bring a lawn chair. And I saw a lot of people take advantage of that and bring a chair in and sit down in the grass area or in the outfield area or down the left field line. There's a huge concrete pad that you're able to take advantage of with your chair as well. So lots of options and more to come in the years to come for sure.
Swann and Crisp is with us. We're here at Jack Cook Field tonight. Marshall playing the first ever nighttime contest here at the new ballpark, taking on Bellarmine. And that'll be a 7 o'clock first pitch, a few minutes after 7 o'clock. First pitch coming up tonight. Weather will hold. No worries there. I'm not a trained certified weatherman, but weather will hold tonight, Ryan. It has to for this first nighttime game. And there's a lot happening, not just with baseball, but we've got softball as well. Softball getting a big push from all the excitement over the weekend with baseball as well. There was so much activity going on between softball and baseball over the last few days, and that continues as well.
Yeah, no, it was great last weekend, and we'll have the same thing this weekend. And, you know, just with the weather forecast, I encourage everyone just to stay tuned to social media and check your emails. We'll email updates as much as possible. But, you know, with the forecast, unfortunately, it looks like there will be some changes, especially Saturday. Saturday right now doesn't look great, but that can change at a moment's notice. And you know, right now it says, 99% chance of rain on Saturday, but maybe that hits throughout the night and we're able to play throughout the day. Both these surfaces are completely artificial turf, so we have an advantage where it may downpour for an hour, but then 15 minutes later we can get out there and start playing. So we did make one big change to softball this weekend, and that's that we're playing a game on Thursday. So tomorrow at 5 o'clock, Marshall's going to face off against Ball State. They were able to come into town early, and so we're able to get one guaranteed game in tomorrow under the lights over at softball. And then one thing that I want to mention, and once again, it's going to be weather dependent, but one idea that came from our office was a Grow the Game initiative. So it's just about growing the game of softball, and we're thankful for the teams that are coming in. Every team that is playing has agreed to sign autographs after their game is played. And so the other team, the opposing teams will be set up and they will sign autographs for 30 minutes after their game. And once again, it won't be Marshall teams out there. It'll be Notre Dame, it'll be Ball State, it'll be Indiana State. But if you're, a youngster that wants to be a Division I softball player, these are young women that you can look up to. And so we're excited to offer them the opportunity to meet some of our fans and for our fans to meet them as student athletes for those other schools.
What's been the feedback with softball? That's something that has also benefited from the baseball park, the new facility building, multi-purpose building in between the two stadiums. The lights, we had nighttime baseball at Dot Hicks Field. That was impressive in itself. And, of course, the new scoreboard there as well, adding to the experience. So it feels like softball has definitely benefited from everything that's been happening with baseball. And it looks like a lot of people have fun over the weekend.
For sure. Their softball building that was built will be done here in the very near future, and they're going to benefit from that greatly. And then from a fan experience standpoint, the video board addition is huge over there. The lights are a great addition for them to be able to play. They've already played a couple night games. We've had the light shows over there for home runs and wins and all that good stuff. So, and more to come on softball. Stay tuned. There's more to come. We're going to continue to look to make improvements and to expand the seating capacity and hopefully continue to build that program.
That'll be chairback and also maybe grass seating, chairback, things like that. Is that what you're looking at?
Yeah, I think so. It'll obviously come down to budgets and how that looks, but definitely looking just to continue to grow the program as much as possible and provide our fans with the best options to come watch a softball game.
So if anyone hasn't seen the light show just yet with the lights, what did it look like? What can fans expect? Especially, we might get another home run, maybe a first pitch home run. That would be fantastic.
That would be awesome. Yeah, the light shows, we have different light shows that are scheduled for different moments, and some can just happen on a whim. But the ones we have scheduled are for the intro videos, for home runs, and for wins are the three that we have scheduled. And so that's when you'll see them in action, and we have options to do them at other times as well. So we'll assess and evaluate as we go throughout the season and see where else we can plug those into.
Swann and Crisp is with us. So are those lights colored? I haven't asked that question, so I feel like there was an opportunity. Did you guys You guys take that opportunity? We're going to see green lights maybe?
We did not. They are just the white lights.
Okay.
There's a big budgetary difference between the two.
Fair.
And it was not worth it, I can tell you that.
Okay, that's fair. And those are decisions that needed to be made because the priority was to get this ballpark built and do it right. And I can live without green-colored lights. Now, if someone wants to fund that, obviously your phone number is available on the Herd website.
Yes, if anyone would like to fund that, especially for our football stadium, please let me know because I would love to have it over there. But it is a good price tag.
Wouldn't that be fantastic, a green out? Just with the green
amazing.
lights.
It'd be great.
That would be super cool. Ryan Crisp is with us. So you don't have much going on, just softball and baseball, which is a handful in itself. The basketball team, they're in Pensacola right now, and I hope they're having terrible weather because, I mean, we've got overcast weather. Why should they have nice weather in Florida? Come on.
Yeah, no, it's not fair. It's not fair. They got to hop on a plane and go down. I think it was 85 and sunny today. I know Steve filmed a video from the beach today, so,
terrible.
Just rubbing it in.
I feel terrible for him from the beach today. Now, the women are guaranteed postseason. The men are still looking for an opportunity, and if the Herd wins the Sun Belt tournament on the men's side, we know where the Herd's going. For the women, we're just waiting now to see what the final results of the tournament will be, and hopefully it's going to be the NCAA tournament. If not, Marshall's still going postseason in women's basketball. That's guaranteed.
Yeah, for sure. No, obviously we're fully expecting them to be in the NCAA tournament. We're excited to participate in that and go wherever we need to go. If for whatever reason they don't make that tournament, then there's a tournament called the WBIT, which is new for this year, and we have a great opportunity, and we expect to host a couple games here at the Henderson Center. So women's basketball may be not done at home yet. Let's hope they are, because hopefully we win the tournament and go to the NCAA tournament. But if not, there may be a couple more chances to check out the Lady Herd at home.
Marshall will face on Friday App State. That'll be at 12:15 airtime right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. And when Marshall wins, the Thundering Herd will face either Old Dominion or ULM, which just wrapped up a 78-57 victory over Georgia Southern. So the 5 seed wins over the 12 seed today, and App State will be the next opponent for the Thundering Herd. So it's shaping up. It's almost chalk, but I hope it is chalk, but that means Marshall wins.
Yeah, no, I think App State's played us tough the last couple times, and it's hard to beat a team 3 times. And so we got some work to do and prepare well. But I'll tell you what, Kim Caldwell is the best in the business, and she'll have her team ready, and herself will be ready, and let's see what they can do.
Ryan Crisp is with us, and of course, if you need to get a hold of Ryan, you can go to herdzone.com. All his contact information is there. He is always open to talk to you. So if there's anything that maybe we didn't address today you would like to address with Ryan, please get a hold of him. Go through herdzone.com. Should be a fun one tonight under the lights. I'm looking forward to seeing nighttime baseball here in Huntington and for Marshall University.
Yeah, no, I'm excited, and if you're not able to make it out to the game tonight, check it out on ESPN Plus. It'll be on ESPN Plus, broadcasted there.
And then, of course, on Saturday, Jason Toy will be calling the game for our Saturday showcase. Looking forward to that. We're crossing our fingers that it's not going to rain on Saturday, but if it does rain and we have a doubleheader on Sunday, that's just double the baseball for Jason on Sunday.
That's right, and he'll love every second of it.
He'll love every minute of it. No, Jason did a fantastic job. That was fun. That's something that was absolutely just fun to experience. Baseball, Marshall baseball on the radio. Just being able to kick back this weekend, and you could even bring your radio to the ballpark if you like and listen to the game, follow along. But that was just nice to have Marshall baseball on the radio again. I mean, that's part of having a Division I baseball team, to have baseball on TV, have baseball on the radio. This is a team that did not have all of these things, and now look at it.
Yeah, for sure. No, it's a great option, and we're thankful for Kidger Communications and their partnership to get some games on the airways, and hopefully we can expand it as we grow this thing, and maybe even include some softball games in there as well. But it's just a great option for fans near and far. With the Varsity app, you can listen to it from wherever you are on the radio, and so it's a great option and another outlet for our fans to hear about Marshall baseball.
Ryan Crisp, always a pleasure. We'll do this again next week. Next time we're back here on a weekday, isn't it the Virginia Tech game, I think?
I think it is that Tuesday.
Yeah, I believe it is. So that'll be the next appearance for you here on the show from here. And by the way, you mentioned earlier the press box. first class. I don't think people realize the potential that this facility has now for state tournaments and other opportunities. You know, you're not just looking to play Marshall baseball here. Obviously, we have the Colecats that'll follow, but there's opportunities for high school and other events as well.
For sure. No, there's a lot of opportunity to do a lot of things with this ballpark, and I think also in our future, you know, as our baseball program continues to grow, is hosting those regional NCAA games. And so we're excited for the opportunity there and the opportunity to host lots of things in this ballpark, whether that's from actual baseball games or even concerts or different things like that throughout the year.
Looking forward to it. Yes, concert. Taylor Swift right
Let's
here.
go.
Luke Creasy would love that.
I'm all in.
Taylor Swift right here at Jack Cook Field. Book it. Good talking to you again.
You as well, Paul. Appreciate the time.
That's Ryan Crisp, and we will come back. And we'll have more from Jack Cook Field on this edition of The Drive, ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
This is The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.
We're back here at Jack Cook Field for tonight's edition of The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. I'm your host, Paul Swann, getting set for tonight's contest between the Marshall Thundering Herd and the Bellarmine Knights. Marshall coming into this one 3-8. Bellarmine, they're 1-10. Of course, the Thundering Herd winning the first ever series here at Jack Cook Field. It was a 2-1 series, a close one on that Saturday. Marshall could have won that one. They lost that one 5-4. The thing about Marshall, in the last few games, it feels like this team can hit the ball. And it also feels like this team can put runners in scoring position, just hasn't been able to maybe get them home in certain situations. Hopefully, as the season progresses, that's going to improve. But Marshall now has a facility. You can work on those things. You have a real baseball park, and I think you're going to hear that for the entire season. We've got a real ballpark now. We've got facilities here. They have everything they possibly need to conduct themselves as a Division I baseball team. And once the weather gets better, and of course I don't know what we're going to expect tonight crowd-wise. The game was pushed back to 7 o'clock due to weather. But once all of those things get figured out, we've got baseball under the lights. Of course, we've got weekend baseball. A lot of great opportunities here for fans to come out. And if you can't make it to every game, and of course, if you've got season tickets, you've got the app that will allow you to give someone else an opportunity to use your ticket. So it's definitely been an upgrade for baseball all season long, and we're not even that far into the season. But the Thundering Herd here tonight, getting set to take on Bellarmine. 7 o'clock is going to be first pitch, and that's going to be a fun one, I think, from the Jack. Sunbelt basketball action, we're gearing up for that tomorrow. We're going to have men's basketball action coming up. That's going to be a 7:30 airtime tomorrow from Pensacola, Florida, as Marshall will take on Georgia State. Marshall's the 10 seed, avoiding playing on the first day. First day action in the Sunbelt. The 12 seed ULM lost to the 13 seed Coastal Carolina 75-71. So Coastal advances to face the number 5 seed Louisiana. That's going to be game number 2 in the second round. Then Southern Miss will take on Texas State. Texas State eliminating Old Dominion. The 14 seed loses to the 11, had to go to overtime, 92-83 that score. So Southern Miss facing off against Texas State tomorrow. And then the final game of the evening, and that's the one that we'll have, will be Marshall and Georgia State. Georgia State beating Marshall just last week. The two teams have split. We'll see what happens. The rubber match, that's coming up tomorrow. Steve Cotton will have all the play-by-play action. But we go on the air 7:30 tomorrow with our pre-game coverage. I'm looking forward to it. And then coming up on Friday, we're going to have Marshall women's basketball. It's a 12:15 airtime. Number 1 seed Marshall with a 2-day bye will face off against App State. App State, the 9 seed, beating the 8 seed Georgia State 73-68. And then the other game that happened, the 5 seed ULM beating Georgia Southern, which advanced after beating Texas State in the 12-13 game. 72-70 was that score. Georgia Southern's season is over, losing to ULM 78-57. So ULM advancing to take on Old Dominion in the second game of Friday's session. Marshall or App State will face off against the winner of that game in the semifinals on Sunday, and that'll also be a 12:15 airtime if the women should advance. And if the women make it to the championship game, Monday, 1:45 p.m., it's going to be the airtime. All those games right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Let's go ahead and get our second break in. We've got more scores to tell you about. We'll get your text in this hour, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Thanks for tuning in to this edition of The Drive here from Jack Cook Field on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
This is The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.
Welcome back to Jack Cook Field. Paul Swann, your host for today's edition of The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. We've got baseball coming up tonight, 7 o'clock. First pitch. It's moved from the 6 o'clock planned start due to weather. So if you're planning on coming to the game, you've got plenty of time. It's under the lights tonight. This is going to be the first time that the game will be under the lights. I'm looking forward to seeing some nighttime baseball here at Jack Cook Field. Let's get to our text line. Didn't get a chance to get to them earlier. Let's go ahead and get to some of those now. Texter says, Paul, my daughter and son-in-law live in Milton, Florida. Plan to go to the Friday game. Do you know where most Marshall fans will be sitting? Yeah, I don't have a ticket schematic, a plan of where the Herd fans are going to be sitting for that one. But I think where it's a session ticket, you might be able to ask at the ticket office if they have an idea of where available tickets are for the game. I don't think you're going to have a problem getting a seat near Herd fans. I'm sure Herd fans are going to travel well for this game. I don't think you're going to have a problem. I look forward to it. It should be a fun one. I'm glad you're able to go. Back to our text line, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. We addressed a couple of these questions earlier with Ryan Crisp, and they're not going to make any changes right away as far as the structure is concerned. Still going to be living with them, but if you've got any direct comments about an item or two, Ryan's going to make himself available. You can go to herdzone.com and get his contact information. And just from previous experience, Ryan's really good about getting back to fans and talking to them about things that maybe they can do better for you, things that maybe it's not a good experience for you. So he's really good about making sure that he gets back with a lot of people. So please, if you've got any direct questions, you want to reach out to Ryan Crisp with Marshall University Athletics. He's going to be your direct contact as far as what could be done better, what could improve your game day experience. And trust me, when I talked to him earlier today before we on the air, I said, what can we not talk about? What can we talk about? He said, whatever you want to talk about, we're good. So that's the kind of guy he is. So give him a call. We'll keep the text line open, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. That's the text line to be a part of today's edition of The Drive here on ESPN 94.1 AM 930. I will be checking in on where the seating locations will be for the Marshall game on Friday, so let me get back to you on that one. I'll see if I can get a better answer for you there. Also, I will try to get maybe a direct contact, a place where you can reach out to Ryan, or I'll be quite honest with you. I'll share some of your comments and feedback throughout the week. If you text me privately through our text line, I'll share some of that feedback as well with Ryan. Make sure that he has some of your comments and concerns, and hopefully you can address it with him, and hopefully we can make everybody happy, because this has been a great experience so far at Jack Cook Field. And I'm sure it's going to get better. There's things that still need to be worked out and things that always can be improved. But this is a great start so far to Marshall baseball. And, of course, the weekend's coming up, and that means we'll have baseball action on Saturday. Marshall taking on Southeast Missouri State. That's going to be a 3 o'clock first pitch, 2:50 airtime on Saturday. My man, Jason Toy, is going to have the call along with my other man, Woody Woodrum. My guys are going to call the game. It's our Saturday showcase, and we're looking forward to it. That's going to be 3 o'clock on Saturday, Marshall versus Southeast Missouri State. You can listen to Herd Baseball right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Let's get our final break in. We'll give you a chance to get back in the show. Text again is 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. A couple of items I want to go over with you when we continue, including we've got a exciting matchup to tell you about that happened earlier today in the state tournament, the 4A quarterfinals. It's a good day if you're Paul Swann. It's not a good day if you're Bill Cornwell. We'll tell you what that means when we continue on this edition of The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
This is The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.
Welcome back to Jack Cook Field. Paul Swann, your host for today's edition of The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. We got basketball action, tournament play beginning this week at the high school level and, of course, in the Sun Belt. And there are a couple of things that we're keeping an eye on. First of all, it's been a 50-50 day for my guy, Bill Cornwell, of course, our news director here at Kindred Communications, and my friend. First of all, in the SEC tournament first round opening up today, the Kentucky women, and Bill is a big UK fan. Kentucky gets the win over Georgia, 64-50, advancing. They're going to take on Tennessee in the tournament. Now, for the bad news for Bill, but if you're me and a host of Highlander fans, a good day. Sorry, Spring Valley, not the way you want to go out. Spring Valley's been amazing all year long. And falls, final seconds, buzzer beater, the Highlanders with the win over the Timberwolves in the 4A quarterfinals in the state capitol, 51-49. It's always hard to lose in a buzzer beater, and it's very hard to beat a team you've beaten a couple of times already. Another time, today was the Highlanders' day. So I sent Bill a text. And again, there's no malice here. We're friends. We're good friends here. We've been doing this for years. And I sent him a text. I said, go Highlanders. Because he knows I'm a Huntington High guy. I'm a Pony Express guy. I really am. But I support the Highlanders, even though I'm a Pony Express OG. And I sent him the text, go Highlanders. And I waited. About an hour later, I got the reply back, boo. So have fun with it. But, hey, congratulations to the Spring Valley Timberwolves. Fantastic season, outstanding team. It's a shame you had to face off against another outstanding team that you've already seen a couple of times in the Huntington Highlanders. Either one of these two teams could be the state champion in Class 4A. So whatever happens, let's hope that the Highlanders can run it all the way to the championship. But a last-second buzzer beater to get it done. It was a sweeping left-handed shot Amara Jackson made. It was right before the buzzer. And so now the Highlanders, the 6th seed, advancing on, and the number 3 seed eliminated. Let's go Highlanders. Let's root for the Highlanders to win the state championship in Class 4A. And right now the Wayne Pioneers are still alive, so we're rooting for the Pioneers as well. So all the local teams, good luck as you progress. And, of course, I hate that Spring Valley lost, but I'm happy that the Highlanders won. And to be honest with you, if Spring Valley would have won, I would have been happy for Spring Valley, and I would have hated it for the Huntington Highlanders. That's kind of how tight-knit of a community we have here when it comes to our high school sports. But at the same time, there's a lot of rivalry and talking going on. It's all in good fun. but that's what makes these matchups special. These two teams like getting after each other, so some good basketball being played today in the state tournament. And then one more thing that I want to tell you about that's coming up tonight, 6 o'clock. The Pittsburgh Pirates are at the Baltimore Orioles. We've got spring training baseball. That's going to come up at 6 o'clock tonight. So right after our game preview here from Jack Cook Field, we're going to go right into Pirates baseball, 6 o'clock. The Pirates taking on the Orioles. We'll have that for you here. And, of course, your home for Pirates baseball all season long is going to be ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Here today at Jack Cook Field, Paul Swann, your host. We're getting set for baseball. It's coming up tonight at 7 o'clock. It's just quiet right now. It's quite nice and peaceful here, but gates are going to be opening up soon, and you're going to have an opportunity to come and watch some baseball here. First nighttime contest here at the ballpark. And what's great about this is you're going to be able to have that opportunity, as we've talked about earlier with Ryan Crisp. You can have different events here. You can have regional baseball here. Of course, you're going to have minor league baseball here soon with the Appalachian League. And that's something that was needed not only just for softball, but for baseball as well, to have that opportunity to play at different times. So if you can't go at night, you can always have the day option. But if the day option is not available to you and you want to get the game in, you still got the nighttime option. And, of course, I don't know if it's going to be a consistent, but I like the 6 o'clock start time. I know I got pushed back for the weather today, but I do like the 6 o'clock start time. Gives everybody just enough time to get off work and maybe head on down to the ballpark. You can maybe leave work a little bit early. You come out, you see a ball game, and the way that college baseball is going right now, and, of course, you do have the pitch clock, you have an opportunity to get a ball game in, see a lot of action, and still get home at a decent hour. So I really like the way they planned this schedule, especially with these nighttime games. I do appreciate the schedule being a little fan-friendly as we try out the new ballpark and get accustomed to seeing baseball on a regular basis. And, of course, I'm more excited for Sun Belt play. Once we get past the non-conference, and we're getting there real soon, after Southeast Missouri State, and you're going to Gomart Ballpark, and you're going to have the game against the Mountaineers. You're on the road taking on Southern Miss, and then you're going to be in Morgantown taking on the Mountaineers again. Then you've got conference play here. Then you've got that West Virginia game as well. You've got a series with Morehead State. And there are a couple of series here that are not conference play, but I'm excited for Sun Belt Conference play. Absolutely. Just because the quality of this league last year was better than I thought. I knew it was going to be good, but it was better than I thought it would be. And that was really refreshing, knowing that Marshall was leaving a really good baseball league and going into a really good baseball league with the ballpark on the horizon. So that was something that I was really excited for, looking at the schedule. There's some good teams coming in here to Jack Cook Field. Texas State's going to be good. Of course, you've got Old Dominion. You've got Georgia State coming in, Coastal Carolina. Those are going to be fun matchups. And once these teams rotate, once these teams are back here, we're going to get a better feel. I think baseball is really going to take off. If the crowds can maintain what they were over the last few days, those initial crowds, and of course, those crowds, those were really special crowds. You had alumni coming back in, a lot of people that had not ever been in a ballpark like this for Marshall University, that wanted to be here, that played for Marshall. But I think you're going to have a good core of fans. Marshall could be in the top 5 of attendance for Sun Belt, and that's going to say something, and that's really going to stand out because it's a good baseball league. Not every stadium, though, has good crowds. I've noticed that about the Sun Belt. There are some crowds that they're not very good. Marshall now has an opportunity to be among the top teams in attendance. You could be up there with the Southern Misses. You could be up there, and you could definitely make a statement, if you come out and support Marshall baseball, those are things that Coach Kim Caldwell talked about and the other coaches. If the kids are coming out and they see a full house, they see a good crowd here, and of course that's going to help as far as baseball recruiting is concerned. Because Marshall, now that's another thing. Wait till Marshall can really recruit to this, because here it is. You can show this off, and you can bring prospects here. You can bring potential recruits here. You can show them what you have. You can, of course, look at the crowds. The games are going to be on ESPN Plus, so you can always do the old, hey, check us out, we're going to be on TV tonight deal. However you need to recruit, this is something that is going to, I hope, eventually turn Marshall into a baseball contender. Everything that has been put in place so far is trying to make Marshall a baseball contender, and I think the Herd has got it done. We will see, though. But we're almost out of time here, so I just want to remind you again that coming up after our broadcast, we're going to have Pirates baseball. It's spring training baseball. They're taking on the Orioles tonight. And we'll have some select games throughout the course of spring training before we get into, of course, the regular season. And we'll have all those games right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. But the next time that we come to you here from Jack Cook Field, it's going to be on our Saturday showcase as Marshall will take on Southeast Missouri State. That's going to be a Saturday game. We'll have that for you at 2:50 p.m. airtime, 3:03 first pitch approximately. And Jason Toy and Woody Woodrum will have the call of those games all season long. They did a fantastic job over the weekend. I hope you get a chance to listen. If you didn't, you really missed out, especially with that first home run, first pitch, first home run at Jack Cook Field. It was an amazing call from Jason, and I hope that we have more of those throughout the season. All right, that's going to do it for this edition from Jack Cook Field. Back at the studio, my guy, Jason Toy, keeping me on the air tonight, so I appreciate him for everything he does for us, and I appreciate you for being here with me tonight. I do mean it. You can pick anything else you want to listen to on your way home or where you're at. You chose me. I appreciate it, and I thank you for it. Back tomorrow here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Retransmitting on Glorious FM on 94.1 W227BS Huntington. This is 930 WRVC Huntington, celebrating 100 years of broadcasting.
Okay, forest animals, today is a new day. Kids are coming to the forest, and it's up to us to make their visit a good one. Sparrow.
Yes?
Have you practiced the most popular bird songs for the year?
Of course.
Catchy. I like it. Okay, River.
Dude,
How's the temperature?
it's a refreshing 52 degrees, man. Perfect for a little riverside shoeless relaxation.
Ah, good. Owl, you here? Course. Who's asking? I am. Look, you know the drill. Sleep during the day, scare the kids at night. Perfect. I love my job. Oak Tree?
What's up?
Still in the same place I left you last year. That's what I like. Consistency.
Well, it's not like I'm going anywhere for the next couple hundred years.
I know. I love it. Turtle. Turtle.
He's not here yet, man.
He's late every morning. You'd think he would have learned by now to leave the night before our meetings. Okay. Squirrel. Has anybody seen Mr. Squirrel?
The forest has been preparing just for you. Visit a forest near you today. To learn more about cool things to do in the forest, visit discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Hello from Sarasota, Florida. Tonight, the Pirates play their first spring training game under the lights. And we're here, the winter home of the Baltimore Orioles. Greg Brown and John Wehner with you tonight. Mitch Keller will get the call. He'll make his third start of the great